Hi, today we'll be going over how to graph inequalities. And by now you're probably used to graphing, single linear equations, right? You're used to slope-intercept form, you're used to y equals mx plus b, right? But what do you do when you get something like this? Y is less than or equal to 4x plus 3. What are you going to do there? Because if this was an equal sign, if this was y equals 4x plus 3, you'd know just what to do, right? That's standard slope-intercept form. That's going to be your intercept. That's going to be your slope. Put that, point on your intercept here, and then you do rise of the overrun all the way. You've got it. But we have this weird inequality sign making life difficult for us. Well, this whole equation, this greater than or equal to, is actually composed of two parts. It's composed of our standard part, the one we're used to, y is equal to 4x plus 3, and y is less than 4x plus 3. All right, and for now, we're just going to start by graphing the standard part. We're going to start by graphing y equals 4x plus 3. Right, so I'm going to say that's 1, that's 2, that's going to be 3, and then, it's 1, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so then I'm up at here, so on and so forth. I can draw a line like this, and I'm going out onto infinity, right? I've got this part taken care of. But what do I do about the y is less than 4x plus 3 part? What do I do about that? Well, when my x is 0, my y values are going to be less than 3. When the x value is 1, my y values are going to be less than 7. When my x value is negative 1, my y values are going to be less than negative 1. What does this look like on a graph, right? Well, for 0, when x equals 0, the y values are all less than 3, right? So that includes this y value, and 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 this y, all the way down to infinity. These are all included. What about x equals 1? Well, all values that are less than 7 are included here. So this y value, and 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 so on and so forth. And x equals negative 1, the same process holds, right? And we can do this for every single point on our line, right? That less than sign basically means all the values that are less than it. So all the values on this side of our line. So to represent that, we just do things kind of shaded in, right? So depending on how on whether this is online or whether this is by paper, you're basically going to shade in everything below, right, your horizontal line. Now, what if we had to deal with something different? What if we had to deal with as our original equation, y is greater than or equal to 4x plus 3. Well, in that case, right, all our signs would switch around now. So now we have y is greater than 3, and y is greater than 7, and y is greater than negative 1. So in this case, our lines would start going upwards, and we'd shade in all the points on this side of our graph. Now you may say, well, hold on. What if we just had an inequality? No equal sign, right? No greater than or equals, no less than or equals. Well, we wouldn't include on our graph the points on this line, right? We wouldn't have, for example, 0, 7 as a point that we can, 0, 3 as a point on our graph. That would instead be a dashed line. So we'd have something like this. This is going to be pretty rough, but so something like this. And of course, we'd shade in this part, right? So something like this, where we don't actually include the points on the line. That's why it's a dashed line. But we included all the shaded portions here. All right, let's do another example to kind of cement this, right? Let's say I'm given 4x plus 8y is greater than or equal to negative 24. And I want to graph that. Well, the first thing I'm going to want to do is put this in slope-intercept form, right? So I want to get my y's all by themselves and then try to get it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. And divide by 8. All right. Now, let's think about how this is going to look on our graph, right? We have a greater than sign, right? So our y value, so our y's are less than the other side of the inequality, right? That means we're going to shade below our line, not above, because y is less than or equal to the other side of the inequality. And we're going to draw a solid line, not a dashed line, because we have this equal to part of our inequality, right? So that means we can include points on the line as solutions to our inequality. So now that we know we're drawing a solid line and we're shading everything below that, our task is pretty darn simple at this point. All right, we're just graphing 1/2 negative 1/2 x minus 3. That looks something like this. And our solutions, of course, are everything below here. All right, that was pretty simple. Let's try another one. All right, so we have negative 12x minus 4y is less than 5. Right. Once again, we're going to want to put this in slope-intercept form. So we need to get that x out of here. We have negative 4y is less than 12x plus 5. I'm going to get that y all by itself, so I'm dividing by negative 4. And remember, when you're dividing by a negative number, you flip the direction of your inequality, right? So here it's facing this direction. Now it's going to face this direction. So y is now greater than negative 3x minus 5/4. Now, what is my graph going to look like now? Right, well, first, we're going to shade above our line because y is greater than the other side of the inequality. And we're going to draw a dashed line, not a solid line, because we aren't dealing with an or equal to inequality, right? There's no equal sign bar under it to tell us, hey, we can include the lines too. So we cannot include the points on the line as solutions of the inequality. So what does our graph look like from here? We're shading above and it's dashed. So all we have to do is just follow our standard procedure. We're graphing y squared, the negative 3x minus 5/4. So we're looking at something like this. And we're shading above. All right, so all told, that is how you graph inequalities. It's a pretty simple procedure. Just remember, if it's greater than, you're shading above. If it's less than, you're shading below. If you're including or equal to, that means you're gonna have a solid line. If it's not, that means it's gonna be dashed. That's it. Other than that, it's a lot like graphing your standard lines. That's it. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you have a great day.